love piñatas. They are inexpensive, fun, and some people think they're meaningless and childish, but there's a story behind piñatas. Um, I myself have made piñatas. Kind of sort of read about the history. Most of the facts that I get are from my abuela. And as I grew up, many of my family members have learned how to make them because they're lots of fun. It's funny to watch people go at it, and in a way it helps relieve stress while creating it at the same time. Today I'm going to tell you about what the piñata signifies, how to play the piñata game, and about the materials on how to make one. The piñata is used for many different reasons, but nobody knows what the original idea of the piñata is or where it came from. There are many stories behind piñatas. They say that it originated in Mexico by Aztec, Mayans, and many other people of Mexico. Some say that it was used by Spaniards to lure people to convert them to Christianity. And some other people say that the Chinese people made it up because they're the people that usually think color comes from because of the Chinese New Year and everything. But the piñata itself has a story behind it. It is used as a lesson to kids and to other people during a celebration called Las Posadas, which takes place during, I think, December 16th through December 24th. In the Dictionary of Chicano Folklore by Rafaela Castro, explains that the piñata was meant to be symbolic and that the piñata was evil. It was Satan and his spirits, and the colors were considered temptations that Satan, and then the candy and little toys inside represents the unknown pleasures that either Satan held out or that, Satan held out to attract the humanity. The blindfolded kid was a symbol of innocence and faith, which must be blind to combat the evil. The breaking of the piñata symbolized the struggle that man must sustain to destroy evil and receive the gifts and pleasures from God. The story doesn't mean much these days because it's just, they kind of just, fast forward through that part of the celebration and go straight to the breaking of the piñata, especially within the poorer class. That's why they have piñatas in Mexico, because they fill them up with candy and little toys because they're inexpensive. And I learned from reading this book, or that section of the book, that the kids usually didn't open their gifts until Dia de los Reyes, which isn't until January 6th. And I told my mom, well, I'm really happy that we became Americanized, because going back to school was before that, and when they asked me, what do you get for Christmas? I'd be like, well, I don't know yet, because, I didn't get to open my gift. And then I just thought that was crazy, because it's 25th. Now that I have told you about how the piñata came about, I'm going to take the chance to tell you how to play the piñata game. Hispanics aren't the only ones that use piñatas for birthdays. Children absolutely love the piñata game. And really, I believe adults like it too. It's candy and you get to swing a broomstick at something. I mean, they're teasing you by raising it and lowering it. But usually the piñata is hanging from a rope that an adult, usually a very strong man, or 5 men that aren't strong in my family. My uncles would tie the rope to a tree branch or would stand on top of the roof of the huge trucks that they have, because they're all rancheros, or farmers, sorry. And I say they must be strong because they have to be able to swing the rope around. Not only is it just piñata filled with candy, it's dried newspaper, like about 10 layers of it, if you really don't want them to crack it open. And While the men are getting prepared, so are the little children. The first child is putting the blindfold on, getting spun 3 times, or if you really mean however old they're turning. We usually stop at 10 because they usually pass out. They direct the kids towards the piñata, and hopefully everybody moves back so that you don't end up sending a video to America's Funniest Videos. Somebody getting hit in the groin. And the game is hard, and usually after 3 hits, if it hasn't busted open, it's the next person in line's turn. The men controlling the piñata start flailing it around, and little kids, sometimes there are accidents, because like I said, they don't run away. And playing the game can be fun, but at the same time it's frustrating. It is much more fun to make the piñata. Making a piñata can be very inexpensive. In the article of Make Your Own Holiday Piñata and How to Make Fun Balloon Piñatas, the main things you need to make a piñata are balloons, crepe paper, a glue flour paste, which is basically putting flour and glue and water in one bowl, making the gooey substance to be able to cover the newspaper with to make sure that it sticks to the balloon. And then you let it harden and dry, and then you get the crepe paper and you make it colorful. And people think it's really easy to make a piñata, but it's not. You have to blow the balloon up, but before you blow the balloon up, you have to know what you're gonna make. You can't just make something round. And you can use toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls to make arms or a snout for a pig. In Recycling Renaissance, Shelley Vance taught her class how to recycle objects to make really cool piñatas. Some of her ideas included the paper towels and toilet paper rolls. And not only that, but she also used duct tape. She used duct tape, which was really weird because that makes it even harder to open the piñata up. And one of her students said that they could just add a nail to the end of their broomstick, which is really dangerous. And she said, no, don't use duct tape, never mind. And, my aunt and I use those for the necks, arms, and legs. And we have a lot of fun. With my family, I've made around 50 piñatas before we moved to North Carolina because there's like 50 kids per set of parents. Well, grandparents. And it's really fun. Sometimes we end up with some messed up stuff, but it's fun, it's messy, and it's very easy to clean up. It's just flour, glue, and water.